Everybody, welcome back to Frontline Realty Podcast, episode number 6, where we're going to be discussing some of the benefits and what we bring to the table for listings and just listings and real estate in general, just so there's awareness for the clients or pretty much the general public, because we want you guys to be as successful as you can be, whether it's with us or not. So thank you guys for clicking. And my name's Dane Whitsett. I'm one of the team leads here in the Frontline Legacy Group, and this is our team owner, Jared Lee. So we're going to talk about, as right now, as we're filming, we're actually filming in the middle of February, but this content's going to be released towards the end of March, where more people are thinking about listing, especially with interest rates making adjustments down finally. It's going to make everybody a little more comfortable to move, and we're hoping for a busier year. That way people can be where they want to be in the homes that they want to be in. We'd love to help facilitate them through that transaction. So, Jared, what's some of the hot tips for listings for sellers?
I would say one of the biggest tips is, especially with the weather changing, it's going to be nicer out. I would focus on your entryway and your landscaping. A lot of times, buyers are going to make their decision the first 2 minutes as they're pulling in. So if you can make that feel clean, warm, and inviting, that's just going to flow through the rest of the house.
Yeah, online photos too.
And one thing, and the online photos also, I would say, and I hear this a lot and stuff, but we lived with this forever. It's never bothered us. You got to look at it from the potential buyer's point of view. Like if there's anything, like if you have holes in the wall or patchwork you haven't finished, you have a room half painted, you kind of want to get those buttoned up before you actually go on the market, just because you want to make it as presentable and move-in ready as it can possibly be.
So, which I haven't had to experience this yet, but when you have a certain wall color, does it really matter?
It does. So let's just say, let's use one I just saw in a house the other day. Big Bird Yellow.
Okay.
I'm sure there's a market for that somewhere.
But it's a smaller market.
It's a small and specific market. So you want to make it as neutral as you can. I'm not saying you got to paint every room.
Millennial gray.
Yeah, not millennial gray. If you take anything from this, do not do millennial gray. But you want to set, like, say if you have a purple room or anything that's just, extravagant or just more of your taste, you want to try and make it as neutral as possible. Sherwin-Williams is fantastic every year. They put out their top, I think, 5 or 10 colors and just kind of pick from there. If you're, I'm not saying you have to repaint every room and stuff, but if you're going to repaint a room that's got one of those unique colors, I would probably stick with one of the neutrals that they offer.
One thing that I always tell people is, if you have a lot of natural lighting coming in from windows, paint that wall dark, because that'll make the room actually look bigger, which is more comfortable to live in, but also great for listings.
Yeah, like you want to try and clean your carpets if you have pets, and just like I said, make it as presentable as possible.
Yeah.
Take down any kind of I always get pushback on this, like your family portraits and everything. A lot of people want to leave them up. My wife is super guilty on this. Every time we sell our house, she fights me on this, and people want to envision themselves living in that space. It's kind of awkward when there's
none of their family in there.
Yeah, exactly. Someone else's family and everything. So that's another thing that you'd want to address.
Yeah. So curb appeal, wall color, those are really two big things to address. What about landscaping and stuff? I
said landscaping.
Yeah. So remulching, we're putting new stone down.
Yeah. Yeah, because you want it to look like they, especially going in the spring, they don't want to have to do anything. So I would definitely lay new mulch down. Obviously get the property ready for the outside, because outside living space also, if you have like a back patio, people like to. It's that time of season where they're going to go out there and do bonfires or TV.
So on this, which I think I ran into a couple of days ago for a showing, so we had, please don't use candles or air fresheners to try and mask certain smells, because we do know how to pick that out. And also, so do buyers. That's something that if there's a heavy scent of Febreze or the candles were going prior to the showing, we're kind of aware of what's going on here.
Yeah, you're better off disclosing everything.
Yeah.
And having to find, don't put stuff like boxes in front of cracks in the foundation and everything. They're going to find it. It just looks like you're trying to cover stuff up. So
it's definitely one of those things. It's actually cheaper to be honest up front. Another thing, which is what I think I ran into during a showing, it was super cold out this time of year. This has obviously been a harsher winter. The HVAC system was controlled by one of those remote thermostats, and the whole time we were in there for 30 minutes, the HVAC did not kick on, which it was an older home. I'm not saying that it could not have been insulated that well, but I had a suspicion that the seller had ran the HVAC at a higher temperature and then dropped the temperature prior to our arrival, so the HVAC did not run.
Yeah, I mean, people will do that and stuff, and luckily for I'll just say for the buy side and everything, when you go and do an inspection, you're there for at least two hours plus.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing they kick on. And that's how they can tell if it's short cycles and all that. So they'll leave it running the entire time. That would give it a full test. So, I mean, people, if you think you're crafty, trying to hide stuff or not, people have tried before and failed. It always comes up. So just be as transparent as possible. Another thing is, I guess we can go over kind of like the listing, how we look at it as a whole picture and stuff. Everybody does the CMA. We do it as well. We do competitive marketing, which, say if your house were to appraise for $610, we always say let's price it just like at $599, because you're going to get those buyers that are approved up to that point, and then also the next bracket of buyers that are over that. You want to get honestly, you want to put yourself in like a multiple offer situation, so that's the best way to do it. You're hitting both those pools, and a lot of times when people find something that checks all the boxes, that's a little bit out of their price range, they find ways to make it work. So.
Yeah, and that does often happen. So in your experience, when it comes to listings, is there ever a benefit to getting your home inspection done by the seller prior to a listing?
See, I'm torn on this, and this is why I know some people do this, but I feel like and this is the same reason why I won't use somebody else's inspection report. You're opening yourself up for a whole nother can of worms. You're better off just letting the buyer bring their own inspector and stuff, because who are they going to hold liable? Like let's say you do a pre-home sale inspection, and I've heard of it where it's bitten that seller in the butt because they missed something, and then they move in the house and something catastrophic happens, mechanical issues fail and stuff, and they're going to go after like, hey, you guys knew about this, you just try to cover it up. So I would edge on the side of plus it's an expense that you're going to incur yourself, so why even do that? A lot of times that I've seen people, at least on ones that I've written on where they've already had an inspection, I'll tell them like, okay, well, that's great, but we're going to have our inspection company do one also, so hopefully everything matches up.
Yeah,
sometimes it does. I mean, every now and then there's going to be discrepancies, but you're just better off just letting the buyers do their own inspection than you trying to say it's already been done, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that one. What other questions can we go over for sellers?
Remember the open houses? I mean, this is the one that we get all the time. Is it even worth having an open house? You always get the argument that's more for us to, get clients. But I'll tell you, there's been dozens of times where I've held an open house and we've actually written on that property with somebody who's walked through, was just in the neighborhood, or they've been looking but they didn't know how to start the process. Rather than calling somebody, they just wanted to come see the property first. Actually, Bauer just had that happen to him a couple months ago, where he just held an open house and the people walked in, loved it, wrote an offer on it. Unfortunately, it wasn't accepted, but now he has those clients as well. But it put those people, the sellers, in a multiple offer situation where they were able to pick one that was even higher. So it is, I mean, I'm not going to, sit here and lie like it's not a benefit to us. It, obviously it is, because we can get buyer clients as well. But our main focus is trying to get your house sold before I pick up any other clients anyway. So
is it more beneficial for a seller to list during the slower times of the year where there's not as much,
I'm
much
gonna get
competition?
Such slack for this,
because I see both sides of the argument. So I'm
going to be honest, and this is just me being honest.
So full question: do you list your house when there's less competition, to where you can drive and hopefully have more offers because that's the house that they want and there's not many to compete with, or do you want to have multiple homes in the same area during the busier time, but you also have more buyers, which creates more of a bidding war?
So this is going to get so much slack. I can already feel it. There's going to be so many comments. Like,
you can argue both sides.
I don't have an argument for the other side. This is like, I'm just being honest, and I've told my sellers this too. I'm like, you guys are, if you want my honest opinion, I would wait till the weather's changed, because your house is just going to sit there. And yes, there are buyers out there in the wintertime, but buyers, like in this weather and everything, buyers are running the market right now. They're they're getting concessions and everything. Yeah, you might have to go up against other properties, but if you have the one that everybody's looking at, there's also multiple buyers out there too. I've had more multiple offers on my listings in the spring and summertime and early fall than I have had through the wintertime ever.
Yeah.
So I'm just being honest. I know somebody's going to comment and be like, it's one of those questions that is just going to piss somebody off. But I look at you, I tell you to do what I would do and stuff. And you can ask any one of my past, I call them friends, even though they're clients and stuff. They'll tell you, like, yeah, he said we should probably wait till spring. But yeah, I mean, I understand if you're in a situation where you need to sell now, and we're gonna do everything we can for it. We're not gonna change anything how we market.
Yeah.
And obviously, the buyers that are out there are serious buyers, but like, let's take our winter for this, instance. If you have 10 feet of snow, nobody can get to your driveway and stuff. And unfortunately, if your house hasn't sold by springtime and it has that, 30, 40 day on the market, and those new ones are coming on, they're going to think something's wrong with your house. So it's just not even going to get the look. So in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, so just like I said, I'm sorry and obviously we'll try and mute all the comments.
I'll give you his personal cell phone at the end of this. Pay attention.
I'm sure, it's not hard to find. It's on the website.
It's everywhere.
But I'm just saying, I would recommend, let's just, take this time. Yeah, we need to list your house. Let's get everything fixed, get everything ready, and have it go live in the springtime. So
on that, I think the number one is make sure it's listing ready. And
we get so many threats. I can already feel it now.
Make sure it's listing ready, but also it's, in my opinion, it's whatever the client is ready and needs. Mm-hmm. So if they're like, if they want to hit the market in March, it's the agent's job to clear the expectation for them and say, all right, you may not get a lot of offers. If we do have a price drop plan for the lack of offers, maybe extend the time frame in between drops. But if it's going to be during a busier time, say, hey, if we do get offers, great. If we don't, we're going to shorten that window for price drops. It's the agent's job to make whatever happened for that client happen.
And I feel like I've seen this happen before for people that had to sell. They had a list like right before Thanksgiving and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they kind of they just, not saying they don't get multiple offers, because it does happen, but it's not the offer that they wanted. And then they'll see something like in the springtime, just verbatim as their house, mm-hmm. go for, 15, 20 grand more. And they're kicking themselves. If I just would have waited like a month or two, I could have made that much more. But like you said, I mean, we're going to give you the best advice for your situation. We're going to try and we're going to give you both scenarios.
Yeah.
If you are in the situation where you can wait for weather to get better, I'll tell you, like, you're better off just waiting. That's not me trying to be, greedy and say, no, I want the commission. We need a list now. I'm never going to tell you, like, you need to list, next week and stuff. I'm going to put you in the best position forward. And unfortunately, like, we live in Ohio, and Ohio kind of,
it's very
couple
cyclical.
Months out of the year, it sucks.
Yeah, it's very cyclical.
Yeah. So you just got to, but, obviously it's whatever best for your situation. I know there's going to be agents out there be like, no, it's like you always see, like, now is the best time to buy. I've heard that for going on 5 years now. It's always the best time to buy. Now, I'm just being honest for what I see, and I wouldn't tell you to do anything I wouldn't do myself.
Yeah. No, the best time for a real estate transaction is when you are ready for it. If you're getting pushed around by agents or lenders or anything, it's not the right conversation.
So let me ask you this question, because we keep running into this also on our listings. We'll get these offers from these investors for assuming the mortgage, and how do you handle that with your sellers?
So it's what's going to,
it's an offer.
Yeah, it's going to, it's how it fits their needs. So if there's a minimum that seller needs to hit to clear themselves off the mortgage and then move into the next house, or whatever is post transaction for that seller, it all depends on just what their situation is. If they want a fast transaction, have that conversation with your client and say, fast doesn't always mean the most, but these investors that have this repetition system for where they take over mortgages, I mean, that's their bread and butter sometimes. So I mean, you can probably expect to close from it.
Yeah, and a lot of them they'll just do appraisals, or they'll do minimal inspections. So they could close as early as 2-3 weeks. You have your money, but I mean, you could be leaving more on the table and stuff. But what I always do with that, especially when I have another offer from an agent, it's like, well, I mean, technically we're in multiple offer situation.
Yeah,
because you are, so might actually be able to squeeze more out of it.
I always compare those to if you're going to sell your own car versus taking it to a dealership. You'll get more if you list it on Craigslist or Facebook yourself, but sometimes it's just easier just to take it to a dealership. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the same thing there. Carvana
is the dealership.
Is that the one that brings them to you?
Yeah, and then I was just watching a video. I know this is off topic, where the guy was delivering his dream car and they crashed it right into the basketball hoop and stuff, and the guy was flipping out. But
perfect.
So on our listing style, we do things a little bit different than a lot of teams. So what are some of the things that we offer that we haven't seen anybody else really doing yet?
The number one, especially here in Northeast Ohio, is drone. Having a drone fly through. Mm-hmm. I think that one's pretty cool.
The interior drone fly through videos, which it always gets a lot of views, and props to our pilot Van. He's really easy to stir up.
he's an ace.
Yeah,
he's an ace with that thing.
He is, but he'll be super cautious through the house and stuff.
Yeah,
and then you kind of start just chirping him a little bit, get him worked up, and he throws all caution out the window and takes off the bumpers of his drone and the collateral damage, and that's how we get some of those really cool close shots, because he's so irritated from us having to redo and making fun of him. Like, no, I think you can get closer.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just trying to see how close you can get before you hit something. He has yet to crash.
Yeah, he does a great job.
He's fantastic with it, and that's something that nobody else. I like these videos, like the transitions and like how the door slides all. But we used to do that too. But the problem is, everybody is doing that, and it's not really showcasing it. It's jumping from room to room too much. You don't know exactly where you are in the house. Van's fly-throughs are first-person view the whole way through. There's no edits. There's no splices. It's the exact, so the walkthrough of the house and how it flows through the entire property.
Yeah,
obviously we don't do basements because we have no way we can fly out through a window. If it is a finished basement, we will do it.
Yeah,
but if it's not, we just don't. Obviously we don't fly down there. He doesn't fly in closets either because there's nowhere to turn around. But
no,
everywhere else he does. And then we do.
So the heat map.
Yeah, talk about that.
So on one of our systems where we watch the market, it gives us a heat map of buyers in hot areas, which we can bring to our sellers and say, hey, this right now may not be the best time, or say, hey, we should have done this yesterday. Let's get it on the market right now. Mm-hmm. Which is great. And then if you are listed and then there's a delay in the sale or the transaction, having that heat map and just being able to show like, oh, well, this is why, but give it time because it adjusts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got a pretty large ad spend that we do for all our listings. We have about $30,000 a year invested in that, and it's just reaches like the last listing appointment I went on there. I just put in the address and calculated what the views would be in the first week and how many potential clients we can have, and it came up with 28,000 just in the area with the heat map and everything of people that have been searching in that specific price range of the house and stuff. So it's pretty impressive because it's going to just once those people click on it once, it's just going to hammer them too and retarget them. So that's one thing I'll say that we do probably the best out of anybody is the social media marketing, digital marketing.
Yeah, I agree. We
that's
really
one thing we have done to a science with all our listings. And
we also have a secret weapon. His name's Tim Wagner. There is no place he will not drive for a listing.
Yeah, that's true. He does. He has a V8 truck. Yeah. And so, Tim, I'm so proud of him. He's the only person I know who could put a listing up and have it sold in less than 48 hours. Everything he's listed, doesn't matter where it is, what time of year it is. Mm-hmm. It's like boom, boom. It's so funny. So, and it's been like that since he's been licensed. So.
Well, he had that listing, 2 hours south of here, and I told him, I was like, brother, I would just do a referral for that. And he said, not a chance, that's fine.
Yeah, and that's when we were talking, I was like, because we weren't even sure how to even price it because we couldn't find any comps. So we're just like, well, I think that we'll do this. And it went into that was like a beehive. They had so many people in and out that we won so many multiple offers. Ended up, going way over asking. Then there was an appraisal issue, and the agent down in Columbus was like, well, we'll just have to adjust the price. I'm like, Tim told him, was like, well, we're not going to do that because we have a whole bunch of other offers that were back up that would, I'm sure would love to pay that gap. So we'll let you guys, give you 2 hours to tell us what you want to do, and then end up paying that appraisal gap out of pocket.
Perfect. See, so circling back, sometimes the time of year is actually a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll fight that argument with you, but only sometimes.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I don't want any trouble. I'm just giving my personal point of view. What are some of the things, like, say, for listings that we do for the first responder community?
Specifically?
Yes. Something that would, you could talk about how the portion of it goes to we like to target that certain department that's in that community.
Oh, so listings. Well, yeah, but that's every transaction. Mm-hmm. So if we have something closed, whether we're the listing agency or we're the buyer's agent, no matter what, that township or that city, they get a portion of the proceeds that goes back to that fire department. We're all firemen here on this team, mostly.
Yeah. We do have a couple cops, unfortunately. But.
So obviously, first responders near and dear to our hearts because that's who we are, and we want to make sure that money because it is important that it goes back into that area.
Yeah, and like I said, we know what they need because we live it. So
yeah.
A lot of the departments have just cut back on coffee, for providing coffee for their guys. So that's one that we can show up and donate. But it's great because then the fire department, posts it on their stuff, that gets exposure. But it's all made possible by, our clients for their listings and also our buyer clients too.
Yeah. Was it Chippewa that got the PFDs?
Yep. They got those. We did the golf outings. I got coffee for a couple different departments too, for a year. But there's some other ones I want to meet with just to see what they need. And the nice thing also, if it's like a big ask that we can't really do ourselves, we have partners that'll go, halves on it with us and essentially make it into we can buy a lot. We split it 4 ways.
Yeah, we can. Well, I think that's enough for this one. We're probably here close to 20 minutes.
Yep. I think that covers a lot of the stuff because we do like for our listings. That's our bread and butter for our digital marketing. Like we create some really cool open house atmospheres. We have the video because when we do a video fly through, it goes on our YouTube channel too. But we'll also loop it on the TV. For any client that comes through, like a scheduled client, I give you a little USB drive and I'll show you how to just play it on the TV so it flies through like that. We also play it through the open house. We have a QR code that we created for the open houses that when they scan it as they're walking through the open house, they'll start getting stuff emailed to them, timed out, like the neighborhood report, the school district, the property flyer, all the amenities in the area, the RPDs, recent updates, just hit them with every possible form of information we can give them about that property in the area, just so they're, they can make an educated guess or not guess, but decision on the property. And also, it'll just follow up with them all as well, just to see if they want to do another secondary showing. So, yeah, that's one thing I'm proud about is we lead the way in digital marketing for our listings for sure.
Well, you have to.
We don't kill trees on this team.
I do a lot of mailers.
That's true, you do. Yeah,
I do like the old school.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks.